Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again. I just got out of seeing the 10 o'clock show of The Heat, starring Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock. I'm going to give you guys a quick little synopsis about the film before I tell you what I thought about it. This movie stars Sandra Bullock. She plays a New York FBI agent. She's kind of like the one all the cops hate because she's kind of cocky. She's kind of like full of herself. She thinks she knows everything about everything. And she's told by her chief that she has to go down to Boston to work on this case with this other cop, and she doesn't want to do that. She kind of has to, she kind of gets forced into working with Melissa McCarthy's character, which is like a kind of like a street cop investigator kind of a person. I'm not exactly sure what Melissa McCarthy, what her ranking was in this movie, but she's kind of like the outlaw, the badass, the one that doesn't take no crap off of anybody kind of a person. And they're teamed up to go against try to find out who's the big drug lord in town and who's supplying all these dealers with these drugs. And then the hilarity ensues from there. So the pairing between Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy's character, they had good chemistry there. It was kind of funny because, of course, Sandra Bullock's playing like the straight-laced, do everything by the books, all right, preppy kind of girl. And Melissa McCarthy's kind of like, hey, I don't give a shit. I'm going to do it the way I want. You know what I mean? Kind of like, like a gangster thug kind of approach that she took to this movie. This movie was directed by Paul Feig. He was one of the stars of one of my all-time favorite movies, Heavyweights. He played the skinny counselor that came back, that used to be fat. And he's the director of this film. He also directed Bridesmaids, which was a big hit for him. I've been a fan for him for years. I believe he directed not Undeclared, what was I going to say, Unaccompanied Minors, which was a decent film for what it was, for being a family flick. And I really do like Paul Feig. Hopefully I'm saying his last name right. I'm a big fan of his. I met him once at this one signing at Tower Records that they had on Sunset for Freaks and Geeks, when pretty much the whole cast was there signing the Freaks and Geeks DVD when it first came out. And the movie also stars Tom Wilson as a supporting character, which you guys all know played Biff Tannen in the Back to the Future movies. He plays like the cop in Boston, the chief of police in Boston that works for Melissa McCarthy but doesn't know how to really handle her. He's kind of funny. You also get Marlon Wayans in here, which you guys all know from Senseless and his newest movie that came out, Haunted House. He's the star of that film, and he comes in with a supporting character. He's okay. He doesn't really have much to work with in this movie. The direction of this film by Paul Feig was pretty good when it comes to the comedy, because the comedy really worked. Okay, the interaction between Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy really did work. There's a lot of laugh out loud moments. But when it comes to them trying to get the drug dealers and like the whole drug dealer side of the movie, there's no really like menacingness, or you're not really afraid of these people. You know what I mean? Like one of the bad guys is from like Mad TV or something. I forgot the guy's name now, but I know his face from Mad TV. So like the whole part of like, the drug dealers, really bad people that are really doing all these horrible things, and like the movie doesn't make you afraid of them. So you're not really afraid of what's going to happen to Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy's character, because the movie's more funny than it is serious, and the seriousness of it doesn't really work at all. But the funny parts of this movie really were funny. Some of it felt kind of stretched out, like some of the scenes, it felt like to me that they're ad-libbing and they just wanted to make it, just to be funny and stuff. And a lot of it worked and a lot of it didn't. I thought this movie was a hell of a fun time, okay? You're not really supposed to take a movie like this super seriously, but from a 0 to a 10, I would have to give this movie a 7, because it really did entertain me. And Melissa McCarthy wasn't really super annoying in this movie, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes she can be super hella funny. Sometimes she can be kind of like, oh my god, please be quiet. But in this one, she's kind of cool, she's kind of badass, and she has that, that attitude and swagger. I think she works better when she's not under restrictions and has to deal with like PG-ness or PG-13-ness of movies. When she's like allowed to like really go at it with the comedy, it really works for her. Would I recommend you guys go see this one in the theater? Yeah, bring a couple of friends along with you to go watch it with you. It might make it a lot better. All right, guys. I always ask you guys a question at the end of these review videos. What is your favorite buddy cop movie of all time? I would have to say mine is the Lethal Weapon franchise. I really do love those movies. I also love the Rush Hour ones. Third one, not as much. But what is your favorite buddy cop movie of all time? Remember to follow me on Twitter. Please thumbs up this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.